We're with David Shapiro. David is a criminal defense attorney in San Diego, California. He's agreed to answer some online questions that were posted related to lewd contact as well as indecent exposure. With that said, David, let's go into the first question that was posted. I have been charged with indecent exposure. What can I do to keep off the sex offenders registry?
Well, the main thing you need to do is to avoid getting convicted, because if you're convicted of indecent exposure, Penal Code Section 314 here in California, it is mandatory lifetime registration as a sex offender in this state. So under any circumstances, if you are convicted of indecent exposure, even a first-time offense with no record, you will be required to register as a sex offender for the rest of your life here in this state. So the most important thing you need to do is, if you're accused of that, is keep your mouth closed. Don't admit to anything. Don't even admit you were on the planet at the time of the alleged act. Don't lie. Just keep your mouth closed and don't give them anything to corroborate, whether it's a video, whether it's a witness statement, whatever the case may be. The second thing you want to do is, when you have a court date or when you find out you're under investigation, or if you're contacted by law enforcement, is to make sure you hire a quality, experienced criminal defense attorney. Not someone who practices criminal law once in a while, not someone who may talk like they're more experienced than what they are, but someone who actually has handled those types of cases, someone who's had success with those types of cases, someone who knows how to deal with those types of cases and what the game plan long-term and short-term is as far as trying to avoid sex offender registration for the rest of your life. And that's mandatory, again, if you're convicted of that. So, I have trial experience as it relates to that. I just tried a case in April into May on those charges. I've been successful in resolving cases short of the indecent exposure, which means you're able to resolve a case if the facts support it, for something short of lifetime registration as a sex offender. So, you want to make sure the attorney you hire has experience, knows what they're doing. Otherwise, you're doing yourself, your case, and for all intents and purposes, your ability to try and avoid sex offender registration for the rest of your life a disservice.
Okay, next question we have is, what type of fees do you charge to defend this type of case?
Well, it all depends. It all depends, obviously, what your prior criminal history is, if any. It depends whether or not you have any prior specifically for this offense. It depends where the court is located. It depends whether or not trial is included or would be included as part of the retainer. It depends what stage in the case, if the case has been filed in criminal court, we're at when I would come in and take the case over. So there's a lot of variables that go into it. But what I can tell you is, even though first offense lewd conduct and indecent exposure, would be misdemeanors, the amount of time, even though they are misdemeanors, is significant compared to most other misdemeanors, meaning there's a lot of mitigating evidence you need to establish. There's a lot of research as it relates to the law, the elements of the offense that go into it. So I would charge more than I normally would for your run-of-the-mill misdemeanor, so to speak, because I've been experienced in it and I know the type of commitment that it takes on my end as the attorney to make sure I'm put you in the best position possible given the facts of your case. So, more than a normal misdemeanor, but probably not as much as a felony, if that makes sense.
Okay. Fairly specific question, and this one kind of, I think, plays into what you mentioned earlier. I had a detective contact me and wants me to come in. I think it's probably related to something that was completely not my fault, but potentially involves indecent exposure within a minor. What are my options?
Okay. Well, you have a lot of options. You could go talk to the detective. That would be a bad idea. You could not talk to the detective and ignore it. That would be a bad idea. You could, hire a criminal defense attorney who knows what they're doing and keep your mouth closed and let them be your voice. That would be a really good idea and a sound investment, irrespective of your financial situation. The last thing you want to do, again, if someone's accusing you of exposing yourself, if someone's accusing you of lewd conduct, and they were to say, okay, you live in downtown San Diego, and they were to say to you, hey, Mr. Smith, this teenage boy or this teenage girl says you expose yourself to them in Carlsbad at 7:30 this morning. And, your knee-jerk reaction is, no, I was downtown at 7:30 this morning. Well, a couple things. One is you're telling the cops where you're at. And the second is you're assuming they're telling you the truth as to where the crime was reported. So by you thinking, you're saying, oh, I'm just going to say the opposite of wherever they say the crime took place. What happened if the offense or the alleged offense happened downtown San Diego? What have you just done? By opening your mouth, you corroborated to a certain degree the other person's allegations. meaning you put yourself downtown San Diego at or near the time of the offense. So the best thing to do, like I said earlier, do not say a word. Politely decline to answer any questions. Contact and retain a quality, experienced criminal defense attorney. You are not going to be able to talk your way out of it, certainly when there's a minor involved, certainly when there's indecent exposure involved in general. You shouldn't want to talk your way out of it. If I got accused of something like that, I would keep my mouth closed, even if there wasn't a shred of evidence. If I was in Europe at the time of the offense happened in downtown San Diego, I wouldn't even tell law enforcement where I was at. I would keep my mouth closed and hire a good attorney to be my voice. That's exactly what you should do.
Okay, and the final question we had was, do you work on payment plans?
Yeah, we do. I do. You know, that's like I've said previously. You know, it's my office, so I kind of get to dictate the terms of that, the types of cases I take, the amount of fees I charge, and we do accept payment plans. They need to be realistic, though. You know, I'm not in the business of a case that may take 6 months to resolve, putting people on 8-month or 9-month payment plans. That's just unrealistic. It's not the type of business I run. It's not the type of attorney I am. You know, so I'll work with you as best as possible, but I also, you know, you also need to understand that I need to be compensated for my time and eliminate the risk of not being compensated for my time. So definitely on payment plans, obviously the more you put down, the more flexible I could be with the overall fee and the more flexible I could be with the payment plans that I'm willing to do. But yeah, we definitely offer payment plans. It is not required that the fees be paid in full, as much as that would be preferred.
Okay, excellent. Well, if you have any additional questions for David, he's agreed to answer those in the comment section below in the YouTube video. So you can simply post them there and David can get back to you. Or obviously, if it's a more private issue or personal issue, you can contact him directly. With that said, thanks for your time, David.
I appreciate it. What I could say is this: you know, do not speak to law enforcement if accused of any crime, specifically these types of offenses. You do not want to bury yourself by admitting anything. I've seen too many people really strip themselves of good defense, no pun intended, as it relates to these charges based on them opening their mouth. And these cases are very defendable. Even if you're on video masturbating in public, there are certain elements of that offense. I just had a case dismissed after trial a month ago where the person was masturbating on video in a shopping store. But through research, through looking at the elements of the offense, not only were they not able to prove it, I was basically able to show that they weren't able to prove it, and to show that the elements were not met. And it was lewd conduct, not indecent exposure. And that saved that person from having to register as a sex offender for the rest of their life. So there's a lot of things that can be done. You know, just do your part, keep your mouth closed, hire a good attorney, and hopefully you'll be fine.
Thanks, David.
You got it. Thank you.